So good morning all. This is Anant Sharma. I work as a consultant at Ministry of Panchayati Raj. So today we will be demonstrating you the application workflow of eGram Swaraj. So as you all are aware, the eGram Swaraj application was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister on 24th of April. Swaraj has 5 different modules. Initially there were 5 different set of applications named as Plan, ActionSoft, PriyaSoft, National Asset Directory and Area Profiler. Instead of all these 5 applications, we have amalgamated and created a single application which is known as eGram Swaraj. So in eGram Swaraj, you can you have different modules from where you can start your work and you can complete the entire flow of the panchayat of the GPDP in a single application, right from creating a plan to creating the GP profile, then ultimately the accounting part as well. All of that is covered in eGram Swaraj. So let me just show you. Yeah. So if you will look at this particular chart, you can see that this is how the workflow starts. The very first step once we log in into the eGram Swaraj is the we do profiling, which was initially called as area profiler. Later on, we start on creating the activities and creating the action plan, which was initially done in Plan Plus. Now it is action plan creation, and this is the planning module in the application. We also define the output of the activity. Then later on, we go to the progress reporting section. We update about the progress reporting, which was initially done in the ActionSoft application. We do with the geotagging of the assets, which was ActionSoft, and ultimately we do with the finances and accounting part of the GPDP, in which the payments are released via medium of PFMS. So that is done through the finance and accounting module. So this is the home page of the eGram Swaraj application. Please make sure that the URL that right now I am using is for the demo website. So this is the demo website URL, which is panchayatonline.gov.in/uniportal. So by accessing this web page, you can do the trainings and you can explore the eGram Swaraj application. So this is not the live site. So if you want to go to the live site, the actual URL is egramswaraj.gov.in. So all the plans that your state will be creating and all the accounting that would be done on the live site, which is egramswaraj.gov.in. So if you will go to eGram Swaraj, then this is the first home page that you will get. So in the home page, you will find some of the major KPIs like how many profiles have been created, how many GPDPs have been approved, for how many GPs the physical progress has been started. So and onboarding, geotagging initiatives. So all those KPIs you can on the home page of the eGram Swaraj. So you can click on it and you can see the details of your particular state. You can also click further and go and explore the different blocks or districts of your state. As of now, if we look at Odisha, there are around 6,798 Gram Panchayat and only 4 have approved their GPDP plan. So request all of you to please start uploading your GPDPs in case you are facing any challenges in the application workflow. So you can definitely be able to do that after today's training. Alright, so let me show you reporting features on the eGram Swaraj homepage. If you will go down, you will find that there are a section of reports in which you can find reports on panchayat profile, planning, accounting, PFMS dashboard. So let's take an example of planning reports. If I go into planning, so there are 2 different modules for which the reports can be planning. In the planning section, these are the different reports that you can access. So let's take an example of approved action plan report. Say you want to see for the last year 2019 and 20. So you can click on it. You can enter the capture details. and you will get the report for 2019-20 approved plans. Yes. So you can see that this is a report for 2019 and 20. So overall, you can see from India perspective, 2,46,000 around plans were uploaded in 1920, and if we look at Odisha here, 5,863 plans were uploaded. So now moving back to the eGram Swaraj application. So this is the home page. You can access. It is used to get access to the reports and logging in into the application, and you can identify the KPIs. You can look at few KPIs here. So now I'll go back to the demo site. It is panchayatonline.gov.in. So in the demo website, we will try to log in first. So for your PreaSoft GP admin credentials are the credentials that you will be using to log in into eGram Swaraj. So initially you were using PreaSoft application. So the login credentials, the village admin credentials that you were using initially to log in into the application, those itself will work in the eGram Swaraj. So let me try to log in. So I'm taking a GP of Odisha state itself. I think the session was expired. Let me try again. So Gaurav, do we have some other user? I think it was working in the morning, probably.
Anand, just try to log in again because this user is working on my system.
Okay.
So if you can try again and just check if you have logged in with this user in another browser as well. So in that case, you have to log out from one browser.
All right. Gaurav, I think you can log out from your system. Is that creating this issue? I'm not really sure about it. Uh, Let me try and.
Okay, just a minute.
All right. So we were able to successfully log in. I think there was some issue because there were multiple sessions going on for this particular user, so that's why we were facing this error. So now we have logged into the particular Gram Panchayat profile. So this is a GP in the state of Odisha itself. So this is the main, once you will log in, this is what the first screen will look like. There is also a dashboard, so you can go to the dashboard. So ideally in the perfect scenario, once you will log in, you will see the dashboard. So as of now, it has been disabled due to some load challenges. So now once you will log in, you will see the dashboard. You can see who is the sarpanch of the profile of your GP, who is the secretary. You can find all the details here in the dashboard itself. You can download multiple reports, Mission Antyodaya, SECC data for your particular state, approved activities, how many are there. So all of those details you will find in the dashboard itself. Once you start creating the plan, once you start creating all these details, you will find that the count here will increase, the fresh activity, operational activity. Asset details, all of that will increase once you start creating your plan. So the very first step that you do after login into the GP profile is you create your Panchayat profile. So you go to the Panchayat, you click on general profile, you click on add. So this is the GP profile that you will have to create and add details for it. So it will ask for the name of the sarpanch. You can add the name of the sarpanch, mobile number of the sarpanch, email ID, and you will have to upload the photo of the sarpanch. So while uploading the photo, please make sure that the file size should be less than 2 MB and maximum image dimension should be 200 into 200, and file type should be .jpeg or PNG. So let me see if I have some dummy photos available. I can upload that. All right. So for the timing, this is I have just uploaded a dummy photo. You can upload. You will have to upload the actual photo of the sarpanch, and it will be moderated from state and block level users. So now you have to enter the details of Panchayat secretary. Is mobile number. In the name section, you will write the actual name of the secretary. I'm just using it for demo purpose. The email ID of the Panchayat secretary, and similarly, you will have to upload photo of Panchayat secretary. So the office contact details have to be added on the GP. You can write the GP address here, the district and village where the GP exists, pin code. So you'll have to add the mobile number or phone number, landline number of the GP office. It will ask you the nearest bus stop details, which is the nearest bus stop for your GP. So you can say that maybe you can write anything. Gandhinagar bus stop. The bus stop is how much nearer to the GP office, at 5 kilometers. Whatever here is your actual, like that. So this is a new section, like what are the attractions in the GP. So you can add for which particular things your Gram Panchayat is famous for. Says you have beautiful lakes in the Gram Panchayat, you can write lakes. You have temples, so you can add temples as well, that we have ancient temples. In the description section, you have to write details about your GP, the basic details about your Gram Panchayat, that our Gram Panchayat is famous for, or any particular. It is a free text. However you want to define your Gram Panchayat, you can write those details. So I'm writing our Gram Panchayat is famous for beautiful lakes. With free text, you can write whatever you want to write in here. There is also an option of homestay available. It will ask you whether homestay is available. If you click on yes, it will ask you for the details. Here it is. If there is no, you can click on save as draft. So this has been saved as draft. Once you are completely sure of it, you can click on freeze, and the data will be. So as of now, this is how you'll have to do. You'll have to click on save as draft, and you'll have to freeze the. So once the general profile has been added, you can go and define the general election details. If you click on add, so the election details are added from the state user. You have to define the election term. So it has already been added. So let's see. You can go to manage. You can see that election term has been defined from Feb 2017 to Feb 2022. There were 4 words. You can view the information here. You can modify disabled, so you can freeze and modify. You can go to the view, and the details will be available here. So you'll have to enter the details of general election details. You'll have to enter details of elected members. Let's see if elected member details is already available. So these are simple basic forms. Like you'll have to do the name entry, election term, for what designation is you are entering the elected member, the full name of the elected member, date of birth, gender, category, education, qualification, area expertise. So the election member is famous for a particular area. You can select it from here. Like there are multiple set of teaching professional, worker, reported occupation. All of those details you can add here. You have to add the photo of the elected member, the office contact details. So these details you can add for all the elected members, and you can click on submit. And once you do all of these elected member details, similarly you can add the details of committee member. So if you go to add, you will see you can add the details of community member here. So for which committee, all of those details. So these are simple basic forms for your Gram Panchayat. So this was previously the section of area profiler. Now it is known as Panchayat profile in the eGram Swaraj application. So as I told you, you can add the general profile of the GP. You can define the election details, election term from the state user. Then you can add the details for your particular GP from here. Ultimately going and adding the elected members. And similarly, in the similar manner, you can add the committee members. Alright, so this was all about the Gram Panchayat profile. Now, we will be moving to the main part, which is the planning exercise that we will have to do. So, how do we create your GPDP? How do you, how will you create the GPDP plan? How will you create activities and all of those details? So that will be covered in the planning part. Before planning, the second tab that you are seeing here is resource envelope. You can go to the budgetary allocation and see how much funds have been allocated to the. So there are 3 sections coming here: central schemes, state schemes, others. So in the central scheme, you will see the fund of the central schemes like 15 Finance Commission and MNREGA, PMAYG. Fund details for all of us would be available. The state schemes are finance commission scheme like state finance or all of those details. So state finance, state schemes, you can add the details by yourself, how much amount has been allocated. So it is a free text. In the others, you have details like CA, how much funds have been allocated in CSR or what are the own funds of the panchayat. You can add those funds here. We'll take that. So for central schemes, as of now, the provision is that if there are any modifications, the central commission grant, so you will have to inform the ministry or NIC about that the resource envelope that you are seeing here is not correct, and you will want to update it. So you have to officially send an email via your SPMU to make the changes in the resource envelope. However, we are considering a possibility of making this applicable at state level. So state level users can themselves allocate funds to the central schemes. So that facility would be available probably in 2-3 days. So now for central schemes, you can see that there is a Central Finance Commission grant. With the Central Finance Commission grant, this is the 15 finance funds that have been allocated here. You can see that it is 29,35,524 rupees. So while creating a plan, you will have to utilize the entire Central Finance Commission allocation. In case you are planning for less than this amount, then it will give you an error while forwarding the plan. So similarly, you can see that public finance funds are already available here. This is probably that's why you are seeing it. Otherwise, we have made a provision of displaying the opening balance of the 14 Finance Commission. So this is the last year unspent balance you will see the 14 Finance. And below you can see that Manrega funds are also available, so somewhere around 3 lakh. So these are all the central schemes funds allocated to the GP. So before we proceed, I want you to update on a particular 15 Finance Commission guideline that was issued for this year. So this year it has been recommended by 15 Finance Commission that whatever 15 Finance Commission funds have been allocated to a 50% of that has to be utilized under Water and Sanitation Based Act. So let's say, for example, 29 lakhs have been allocated to the 15 Finance Commission. So 50% of that you will have to allocate to the water and sanitation based activities, and 50% other 50%. So we have introduced the concept of tied and untied funds. So tied funds are 50% of your central commission grant. So 50% of 29 lakhs is somewhere around 14.65 lakhs. Somewhere around 14.65 lakhs are allocated to you as tied funds. So tied funds, you can only allocate the money of tied funds in the water and sanitation based activities, which are on the 3 focus areas, which is, please write down this information, this is really important. So tied funds you can only utilize in drinking water, minor irrigation, and sanitation. So these are the 3 focus areas, sectors where you will have to utilize of your entire amount. So tied funds under these 3 focus areas, and untied funds the rest of the 14,65,000. You can plan and involve it in road. If you want to plan further for sanitation or for drinking water, also do that. So it is 50%. Untied funds are open for allocation in any of the sectors, but tied funds you will have to allocate in drinking water, minor irrigation, and sanitation. Also, there is a provision of planning up to 120% of the allocation. Say if you have been allocated around 59 lakh rupees, so you can plan up to 120% of set. So if we look at, we can create a plan of around 34 lakhs, which is 120%. But you cannot create a plan of less than 35. So it can go beyond 100%, 120%, but not below 100%. So please make sure that you do consider all these things while you're planning for your GP degree, while you're creating your action plan. You should consider all these things in mind and create a plan accordingly. Otherwise, you will get validation error while you will be forwarding your plan. So this is all about the resource envelope and budgetary allocation. Now you can go to the planning exercise, which was the plan plus initial. You can go to the planning. So there is a provision of creating suggestions. So for suggestions, you can add, say, if you had a Gram Sabha in your particular GP, and there was a suggestion that probably a road has to be created from highway to the GP for better connectivity. So you can write down that particular suggestion that a meeting was held on this particular date, and on that meeting it was recorded. There were 100 attendees in that meeting, and you can define the chairperson, that may be Sarpanch. You can define the details of the elect member that you can select from the document. You can select all the details. Select that road needs to be created. You can give this suggestion. So once you are creating a particular activity for your plan, at that point of time, you can link that particular suggestion into that. Now I'll go to the activity section. I'll start creating my activity. So once you start creating the activity, you also make sure that you have analyzed the resource envelope and you know that this much amount has been allocated to you, and you plan accordingly. You already create a physical plan and upload it, and then upload it here on top. So we have been allocated 29 plus percent. Please make sure that only Central Finance Commission grant is meant for this much amount, or Civil Finance Commission grant is mandatory. Otherwise, it is optional for you. If you want to plan MNREGA, you can plan. If you don't want to plan, then also it is okay. It will not give you a validation error. You can forward your plan in case you are already covering the MNREGA in MNREGA soft. So now I'll create the very first activity. I'll go to planning. I'll go and click on create an activity. I'll add the activity type. It's public works. So whether there is a proper activity, what is the activity name? Creation of road from highway to GP. So I've created a activity wherein I have to create a road from my highway to GP. So this was decided. Now I'll have to select the focus area. I'll go to roads. So these are the Mission Antyodaya gaps here that you have seen. So every year we do go through the exercise of Mission Antyodaya survey, in which we identify what are the critical gaps in your particular gram panchayat or village. So we have made a provision that if you're planning and creating an activity, so you can select that the activity that is being created is covering one of the critical gaps of the gram panchayat. There were no internal pakka roads, and so we are creating this particular activity so as to cover this critical gap. So I can select here that we do not have internal pakka roads in the GP, so the activity is being created to cover this particular Mission Antyodaya gap. So I also told you about the suggestions. So we created a suggestion. You can link the suggestion from here. Click to the link, and you will find the suggestions that you have created, and you can link that particular suggestion that we discussed, that it was proposed in the particular Gram Sabha. So you can link that suggestion. That is why we are creating this particular activity. So this activity, why are we creating this activity? Is beneficial for all the categories. You select all. The road will be beneficial to all. This is a fresh activity, so it's not a costless activity. How much duration the work will be completed? Let's say it's 11 months. What is the estimated cost? So you can write it is 15 lakhs would be utilized in creating this Pakka road. How much is the benefit? It's 1,000. So you can add all the details and you will find the total here, that that general category and classified benefited by creating this particular activity. You'll have to define the output of the activity, which is you can click on asset. Click on what type of asset it is. It is an immovable asset. We are creating the road. Here, total unit in meter defined is 1500 meter and unit cost is 1000 rupees. So what all area it will cover, you can select here that it will cover this particular pages. So unit cost is unit at 750 units will be allocated. You can also, select the location of your particular road by clicking on this add GIS data. So once you will click on this add GIS data, I should find that maybe we have added a lot of details here. So don't let me change for simplification purposes. Let me just do it as one. So I select it. Now I can click add GIS data. Now it will ask me where your particular road should be allocated. So you can click on open GIS map. The Gram Manchitra map will open and you can select the location of the particular road. You can click on it and you can select that here the road will be created. As of now, I am skipping this particular part. This is optional. In case you want to click and point out the exact location, you can do that. So now we have created this particular activity. Now I have created this activity for untied funds. So this is for the roads focus areas. So remember we had been allocated somewhere around 29 lakh rupees. So 15 lakh I have already allocated in the road sector. 15 lakhs utilized from my untied funds. So now I'll forward this activity to the planner. I will create another activity which will be for the untied funds. So you can create multiple activities and allocate funds. For simplification purpose, I am just creating two activities here. Now I will create an activity, creation of public toilets in the gym. So I am using this activity for sanitation focus area. So by this I can utilize my untied funds. So is it covering any Mission Antyodaya gap? So as of now, none. It is not covering any gap. Activity for general. This is for all. And this is a fresh activity, not a costless activity. It will take around 10 months for the toilets to be created. It will be completed in 2021 March. Estimated cost, let's say I'm taking 50 lakhs to be allocated here. How many people would be benefited? What will be the activity output? So this will be also be an improvable asset. So sanitation and sewerage facilities are we selecting here the category. Subcategory, we can select that we are creating toilet. Asset unit type, how many toilets we are creating, we can say 10. Unit cost for creating one toilet, it will be used 1,50,000. Coverage area, let's select that all of these would be created in this. You can click here at that 5 will be created in this particular village and 5 will be created. If you want to add the GIS data, if you want to select the location, as told, you can click on add GIS data and you can select the location of those particular toilets in the Grams map by clicking on open GIS map. So as of now, now I will forward this particular activity to the action plan. So now we have out of the total resource envelope, I have created 2 activities worth 30 lakhs and my resource envelope amount is 29 lakh 35,000. So remember I told you we can create about 120% for the resource envelope. So now I will go to the action plan. I'll add action plan. So we have activities already allocated here. You can click on include activity. So these are the 2 activities that we forwarded to the action plan. They are already available here. Now you will have to allocate funds to these activities. So see here it is showing that total funds grant. So in the Central Finance Commission, as I told you, the tied funds that have been allocated to the GP is 14 lakh 67,000 and untied funds that have been allocated to the GP is 14 lakh 67,000. Total of which is 29 lakh, around 29 lakh. So this is the concept of tied and untied funds. So once you will allocate funds, it will show you the reduced count here. Say if you have already used 1 lakh, so it will show from tied funds, it will show you that 13 lakh 67,000 are available in tied. So this will give you a real-time data. So as of now, I have opened this creation of toilets in the GP. So I will be utilizing my tied funds for it as it is sanitation-based activity. So from tied, I will allocate 1 lakh here. Allocate 1 lakh has been allocated. Similarly, I can go to the. So now you can see that funds available. You can see for tied now it is 0. You have already used all the funds that were available that were granted you for the tied section. So now we are allocating funds to the code activity. So you can go to the untied and allocate 15 lakh. Particular activity. We can click on allocate. Now we have allocated fund. Now it is asking us for to upload the citizen whether it has been approved by all the people in the Gram Sabha, so that approval letter with stamp uploaded from here. Citizen approval has been uploaded. Now you can, if your plan is ready, then you can save and forward this plan for the approval process. So right now my plan is ready, so I am forwarding it for the approval process. So it is saying that your total plan cost is rupees 15 lakh. But okay, did we not allocate the funds? Let me go to manage action plan, plan plantings, add data. Save that. I have to go to action plan, add. Okay, I think funds, since we didn't save it, so funds were not allocated. I'll have to do it again. And here, Similarly, for this, I'll utilize the untied button. Now I can save this particular plan. The data was saved successfully. Now I can go to the planning, action plan, manage. I will find which are the plan pending for approval. No, we have not forwarded for approval yet, so I plan pending, get data. I'll go to modify. Maybe just I'll go to view it. This is correct. We have allocated 15 lakh here, 15 lakh here. Two activities. Now I can go to. I will search for the plan again. The plan pending. Get data. We'll go to the modify. So this is my plan. If I want to change anything, I can do that. I can upload the file here again, the approval file. Now, and save and forward this plan for approval. Not sure why it is not taking. Your total plan cost is 15 lakh. The total available fund is. I think we are missing something here. Just hold on. Let me again. Plan pending. Let's see. I think it has not utilized the tied funds yet. Alright, we put it from. I've taken it from the 14 Finance Commission. I have not utilized the Central Finance Commission budget entirely, so that is why I'm getting this error. Alright, let me show you what was the problem. So I'll go to fund allocated here. See, we've allocated fund from 14 Finance Commission and have not entirely utilized the Central Finance Commission amount, which is 15 Finance Commission fund. So I'll go to the Central Finance Commission. Now I'll allocate 15 lakh from Central Finance Commission. As 14 Finance Commission is optional, so I can plan for 14 Finance as well, but we will have to entirely allocate all the funds from Central Finance Commission grant. So now I am clicking on allocate here. Alright, now let me upload the file again. I'll click and save and forward to approval. So it should go to approval now. Initially, the problem that we were facing was we did not utilize the entire funds of Central Finance Commission grant. So that is why it was giving us that error. So now it says that data has been uploaded successfully. Now the plan is pending for approval. So you can go to action plan, you can go to manage. You can find out which are the plans pending for approval. Click on get data. So this is the details. So you can go to approve. It will give you an alert. You show you want to approve the plan. You click on OK. So in the approval process, you will have to mention the date when was the plan approved. I can write that it was approved today, 18 June. So it is asking whether this activity has been approved. So for all the activities, you will have to select this activity has been approved or not approved. So I'll click that both the activities are approved, and I'll click on save. So once I click on save, then my final plan would be uploaded finally. So my GPDP has been, main plan has been created. So I clicked on save here. So it has shown us the message that the plan has been approved successfully. So right now, what we have done is we have created the Gram Panchayat profile. We analyzed the resource envelope that 29 lakh rupees were allocated to us in resource in the 15 Finance Commission. In the planning section, we created 2 activities and utilized those 29 lakhs fund. We created an action plan. We approved the action plan. So once the final action plan has been approved, you can go to the progress reporting section and you can go to the approval process. So progress reporting is the ActionSoft module of Swaraj. So in the reporting, you will have to go to the technical approval of the activities first. Then after technical approval, you will have to go through the admin approval. Then you can release the funds in the funds earmark section. Ultimately, you can do the progress report. So I just want to tell you one point before we move to the approval process, that for maintenance and upgradation activity, you will have to define the activity output first. So we do not have any maintenance and upgradation activity, so we'll skip that particular part. But in case you have a maintenance and upgradation activity, so you will have to do you have to define the activity output first, then only you will be able to go to the technical and approval process. So right now we have fresh activities available for us, and these are entirely new activities. So I'll go to the technical approval. I'll click on add here. So it will ask for which activity type, public works. I'll get the data of the public work activities. So now I'll have to do the technical approval for this. So 15 lakh was the proposed cost. Now in the technical approval also it came out that it is the 15 lakh is the amount. Who gave the order issuing authority? So it is you can see that it is sanitation department. You can write the order number. When was it approved? It was approved on 18 June. You will have to upload the technical approval here. So you click on save and you are done with the technical approval of one of your activities. Similarly, you can do the technical approval of another activity as well. So right now we have done technical approval for one activity. So we have got the approval for, let's say we have got the approval of only one activity now. So now I can go to the admin approval. I'll go to add here. I'll click on public works. So this was the activity for which we got the technical approval. I'll go and click on do the administrative approval for this. So now here you can see in the administrative approval, we have the proposed cost. 15 lakhs has been allocated in the Central Finance Commission grant. So here you can, if you want, you can change the scheme as well. So right now we have allocated these funds in from the Central Finance Commission grant, which is a grant. So in case you don't have funds available and you have the approval of continuing this activity from some other funds, so you can select a different scheme here and you can proceed. Also you can change the allocated amount. So how much amount was available to you, you can allocate that much amount. So we already have around 45 lakh rupees are available to us. So what was the amount allocated to you in the technical approval? You can accordingly change it in the approval section. Say after approval it came out to be 16 lakh. So in technical approval you change your amount to 16 lakh. Similarly in admin approval you can change it. So as of now we will take it with the 15 lakh with the Central Finance Commission only. So now I will go to the admin approval order number. Who gave the admin approval? I can say that department. You can write the name of the department. When was the order issued? It was issued today itself, 18 June. It's the cost approved. If you will change it, it will be done here. You will have to upload the file. Now, if I'll click on save, then I'm done with my technical and admin approval of the activity. Now, once I'm done with my technical and approval activity, I can go to the fund earmark section. In the only those activities will display which are only already done with technical and admin approval. So we have this particular activity is available to us to release funds. You will go to the release and click on OK here. You'll have to write the fund earmark order number, fund earmark date. I'll take today's date here. So how many you have available fund as 45 lakhs. So let's say for now I want to give 7 lakhs. So you can give 7 lakhs. If you want to give entire amount, you can give the entire amount. You can release the entire amount. 15 lakh has been earmarked. You can click on save here. Now it has been saved successfully. And now you can go to the accounting module of it and you can browser and do this. So now the last section here is you can go to the progress reporting part. Since your activity has been already been approved and fund has been released, so you can change the activity status. So your activity is available here. You can go to the change activity status. So now my activity is ongoing, or my activity is completed, suspended, abandoned. All of that I can do from here. So I will keep my activity as ongoing. I will write the status change date and save. So my activity has been initiated as ongoing and funds have been released for my activity. So this was the whole planning and reporting module. So similarly, you can do for your particular GPs. That's how say how much funds have been allocated to you. Accordingly, you can utilize them. You can divide them in tied and untied. For 50%, you can create the action plan for water and sanitation based activities. For other 50%, you can utilize anywhere. So that's how you will have. This is the entire flow of the application for planning and reporting. So just one more thing I want to update you all. There is also a scenario of abandoning the activities. So what happens is that sometimes in the mid of the year you realize that this particular activity is not to be continued, or there is some issue, we have some other priority works. So what you can do is you can go to the planning section, go to activity, you will go to manage here, find the list of activities, those have been approved. Alright, so you can select these activities, you can click on abandon here. So once you will do the you will abandon the activity, the funds available to this particular activity, that is 15 lakhs, will be reflected in your resource envelope. So now you don't want to do this activity, or maybe your plans changed. So what you can do is you can abandon this particular activity. You can go to the planning section, you can go to manage, you can abandon the activity, and once you abandon, you will have funds available here in the reverted amount. So 15 lakh will be reflected to you here in the reverted amount, and using this 15 lakh you can create a supplementary plan. Alright, so this is the flow by which you can create the supplementary plans, and you can modify your existing plan. So this is all I had from planning and reporting module. So now we can up to you. You can take the control and you can go ahead with the accounting module.
Okay, thanks, Anant. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible, Anant.
Yes, Gaurav, I can hear you.
Okay. So we will now start with accounting module. Before starting this, let me brief you about the number of users that we are going to have at Gram Panchayat level. So as we were having 3 set of users in PriyaSoft, so those 3 set of users will continue here. So we will have village admin login, from which we have currently logged into the application, and you can see the user on your screens. Apart from this, we will have 2 different users. One is the maker user, which is maintained by Panchayat secretary or equivalent, and then the third one is checker user, which is maintained by Sarpanch or equivalent. So as you all are quite familiar with PriyaSoft and we can see the progress of your state, it is almost 100% you guys are on board for 14 Finance Commission. So maker and checker users will be continued for online schemes. Presently Odisha is on board for only 14 Finance Commission for PFMS integrated system. In case you come up with state schemes or any other central government scheme, like very soon for 15 Finance Commission, we have to get on board for making online payments on real-time basis. So for those users only maker and checker will continue. So there is no change in maker and checker login. You will see only those menus, existing menus of PriyaSoft in maker and checker login, that I will show you after this. So first we will see how village admin login works for accounting modules. From the left hand side menu, you can see master entry. So the main menu is master entry. When we click on this menu, there are various forms available. One is set financial year. So as we were doing set financial year in PriyaSoft, whenever a Gram Panchayat logs in for the very first time, then they have to use this functionality. Otherwise, the set financial year is always the current financial year in which the accounting is being done by the Panchayat. Next is scheme. When we click on scheme map form, you'll see this screen. On the left hand side, list of central scheme or state scheme is available, and then you have to map it by dragging on to the right side by using these 2 icons. So in case you want to unmap any scheme, you can drag the scheme from right hand side to left hand side. Schemes are created by state admin, state schemes are created by state admin, and central schemes are created by central admin. So Gram Panchayat level user just have to map those schemes as per the requirement. So if you are having funds in 4 or 5 schemes, then you need to map only 4 or 5 schemes, and you can skip all other schemes by unmapping them. Then the next form is treasury. You can see there can be 3 ways in which accounts can be created at Panchayat level. You can have account in treasury, you can have account in post office, or you can have account in bank. So treasury is created by district admin, as it used to be created in earlier system as well. So treasury is created by district admin, then that treasury is shown over here. You can map it. So if we select Jila Panchayat, so these are the treasuries created by Puri district. You can select any one of them by dragging right, or you can select multiple by using the control button and the left click of mouse. Then click on save button. So our treasury is mapped. Now we can create account in this map treasury. So we will see how treasury account is created. we will click on treasury account, add. So district's treasury we have selected. Now you have to give a DDO code. Then you have to provide the account number, name of the treasury, and then you can map this account number with the list of schemes available. By clicking on the checkbox, you can map it with multiple schemes as well. And then when we click on the save button, the treasury account is now mapped with the scheme. So whenever you are going to do any kind of accounting transaction by booking a payment voucher or receipt voucher, then this account number and will be auto populated against the selection of treasury. So similar to this, post office is also created, and the form is very similar for post office account as well. So you have to add a post office. You can click on the name of post office. You can enter the name of post office, enter the pin code, select whether it is a head office or sub office, and click on the save button. Then once post office is created, you can create post office account in the similar fashion that we have done for creating a treasury account. Now moving on to the bank part. So banks are created at central level and state level. So central level nationalized banks are created by central admin, and state banks are created by state admin. Then those banks are mapped by district admin, and branches are created on those banks. So once bank branch is created, then bank account is defined by the panchayat level user. So at panchayat level, you just have to select the proper branch, the correct branch in which your account number exists, and then you have to enter the correct account number. So we will see how this works. So we assume that banks are already created by the concerned admins, and the bank branches are also created. We'll start with mapping them at panchayat level. So if we select Andhra Bank, and if district panchayat is Anugul, then these are the bank branches at Anugul district for Andhra Bank. So you can map the correct bank branch in which your bank account exists and click on save button. So our bank branch is mapped. Now the next step is to define our account number. So we will click on bank account, add. We'll select Andhra Bank. We'll select Andhra Bank bank branch, and now you have to provide your account number. Again, you can see that this form is similar to treasury account and post office account. Now if suppose you have to map this account number with this scheme or maybe some other scheme, you can click on the checkbox and then click on the save button to save the data. Save the data means your bank account is now mapped with these two selected schemes. Now next is, once bank account is created, we will create a checkbook. A checkbook can be created for any of the account, bank account, post office account or treasury account. We will see for bank account, it will remain same for other two as well. So Andhra Bank, bank branch, issuing of check. So we will say that the checkbook was issued on 1st of April. So these details you have to enter by looking at the actual checkbook that you have. So you have to mention the correct checkbook issue date. You have to mention correct number of check leaves that you have. So if you were having 10 check leaf, then you will tell us that the first check leaf number was this, and the system will also auto calculate the last check leaf number. So you will slowly and gradually, while booking the vouchers, use one check leaf at a time to book the entries. We will freeze the data if we are sure that there are no modification. Otherwise, you can click on save button and then come from the modify section to modify the details. So we will click on freeze. Okay, so we have not selected the account number. We'll select the account number as well. So our checkbook is again created. So in master entry, another important thing is opening balance entry. So for any scheme, you have to enter the opening balance only if the scheme is newly created and you have received grants against it, or you have started doing the counting recently. Otherwise, the simple logic is the closing balance of the previous financial year becomes the opening balance of the next financial year. So in that case, you do not have to manually enter the opening balance. But still we will look how the form appears on the screen. So if we select Indira Awas Yojana and component name we select, so this is how it looks. You have to enter cash in hand. We have not mapped any bank account in this, so bank details are not shown. Now I will select a scheme in which we have mapped the bank account. I think we have mapped the bank account in this scheme. Yes. So here you can enter, like if you are having 1 lakh rupees as cash in hand and you are having 1,20,000 or any amount in treasury account. Thereafter you can enter any kind of advance receivable. So these are your assets, and then the lower section of the form shows liabilities. So your capital fund is calculated based on the formula that asset minus liability will be your capital fund. So we will click on freeze button and it says that your asset minus liability becomes 1,30,000. So 10,000 was cash in hand, 1,20,000 was in in treasury account. So the sum of it becomes our opening balance. So this was our opening balance form. Now moving on to our next form, that is beneficiary. So whenever you have to do any kind of transaction, suppose you are doing some expenditure, then you have to pay money to a beneficiary for purchasing anything or for doing or for any labor activity. If some construction work is done, then for these things you have to pay the money to someone. There can be 3 kind of beneficiaries for panchayat. One is the agency, second is employee, and the third is resident. So the forms are same for all 3. We will click on agency. So suppose we add agency ABC subtractions, and then we click on the save button. So our agency details are saved. So our master entries are complete, and I think you all are well aware about these entries since you are using PriyaSoft from long period of time and are among the leading states when it comes to the usage of our application. So now the next thing is period and procedure. So period and procedure is closing of books. So I'll just check the last day book closed by clicking on close day book. So last day book closed is the 1st of May and the next day book to be closed is 2nd of May. So I can click on close day book option from here and click the day book. And since the 2nd of May is the day book to be closed, then I can book any voucher in 2nd of May only. So first we will go to booking of vouchers. From the section voucher transaction, so there are four kind of vouchers in PriyaSoft. As you all are aware that there can be four kind of voucher: receipt voucher, payment voucher, contra voucher, and general voucher. So any inflow of fund in Panchayat, that can be a grant received or interest received or some rent received, anything like that is recorded in receipt voucher. And whenever a expenditure happens, that is, we call it outflow of funds. So for this, payment voucher is done when you are paying salaries, you are doing expenditure, you are purchasing something, then this becomes an expenditure to Panchayat and it is done through payment voucher. The third option is contra voucher, where we are not receiving anything and we are not paying anything. We are just transferring the fund from one account to another account. So if you are having some amount in treasury account and you want to transfer it to bank account, and for that booking you have to book contra voucher. Or you were even if you were having some cash in hand and you want to deposit it to bank, then you can book contra voucher. And if you want to withdraw some cash from bank or any other account, you have to book contra voucher. And then the last one is general voucher, which is good for any kind of rectification or adjustment. So if you have done some wrong entry in receipt and payment voucher, you can modify and rectify it by using the general voucher. So these vouchers are kept same in as they were in our last application. There was no change done in the look and feel of the form or any logic of the form. So we will see receipt voucher first. These are the type of receipt voucher: direct, transfer, advance receipt. So these are kept same. Whenever you are doing any kind of, if you are receiving funds directly, you have to click on direct receipt. If someone has transferred you some funds, you have to book transfer receipt. Similarly, against advance received, you have to book this advance receipt voucher. So these vouchers are kept same. We will see how direct receipt works. We'll select the receipt type. Then we'll select schemes. So we are selecting voucher date will be our last day book was closed on 1st of May, so we can book voucher of 2nd of May. So this logic again remains same as it was in our previous application. We'll now select the account heads. So if we are receiving grants from a central scheme, for central scheme, then we'll book 1601 receipt voucher. If the amount is received in bank, we have to select the account number. Type of receipt is if it is received through a check, then enter the check number. Check date will be on or before our voucher date. So in particular, you can provide a description of the entry. Like I have said that grantee made receipt for 14 finance commission and it is the second installment. Then I'll click on freeze button. We'll modify since the length of check book was 7. Check number was 7. Now my receipt voucher is booked. This is my voucher number. First 4 alphabets denote my scheme name, then the financial year, R denotes receipt voucher, and 4 is the incremental number for receipt voucher. So this way I can book the receipt voucher. Next is payment voucher. So again, Payment voucher types are again same. I will select expenditure. Here you can see the activity is ported from like recently we have seen how reporting is done. So activities created there will be reflected here. You can select any one of the activity and book a voucher against it. Or if you have not selected any activity, then admin activity will be shown by default. So this process again remains same. And then select scheme. So we are doing expenditure, then we'll select 2515 Panchayati Raj program, Gram Panchayat program, other expenditure. So head of accounts, you are aware of it. I'm doing expenditure of 1000 rupees. So I will define the amount here. Then my voucher date will be 2nd of May. I cannot book a voucher of date before that. Here you can summarize the expenditure that you are doing and click on payment mode. Then we will select the bank account. You can select any of the checklist that you have created. This should be in line with your actual transaction that is done by you on ground. 1000 rupees. Now to whom paid, here our agencies will be reflected. Select the agency. So if we have done 1000 rupees and have done the payment to ABC Construction, then we click on ABC Construction, submit, and freeze the voucher. So my voucher is frozen now, and now I will close the daybook. If all the transactions for this day are done, then I will close the daybook. We'll go to period and procedure, close daybook. So somehow it is not working. Close daybook. This features remain same. You have to just click on the close daybook and the daybook will be closed. Similarly, you can close the month book and year book. Bank reconciliation is also done from here. At the end of each month, you have to reconcile your actual cash book and pre-assessed cash book by using this feature. So this was our village admin login. There is no change, as you can see. It is evident from the forms itself. Now I will log in with Maker user and show you how the forms appear at Maker login. So I will log out from here. Anant, can you show me the users, the list that we were having, user list? So this is our Maker login. you can see from here that we have same menu options as we were earlier having in Maker login. User management is there. In voucher transaction, receipt and payment voucher are there. You can book a receipt voucher by clicking on add option. The form is same. Similarly for payment voucher, the form is kept same again. We have already seen this form. Then status, this is our manage section, and view PFMS status can be seen from here for the files that are sent to PFMS. Period and procedure is for closing the tables. In master entry, same forms are kept. So this is our Maker login. We have not done any kind of changes. In Maker login, the forms related to reporting, planning or Gram Panchayat profile are not appearing because this is exclusively for accounting module, and you have to come on board for online schemes only in this user. Similarly, checker user is also kept same. So this was our accounting part in eGram Swaraj portal, and over to you, Anand. I think I'm done with this. We have almost covered everything related to accounting part.
Right. Let me just save user. So we have covered the entire flow of the eGram Swaraj application. We saw the home page of the eGram Swaraj. We saw the reports. Then after we went to the Panchayat profile, we created the general profile of the Panchayat. Really, you can add details of elected members, committee members. The general election details are defined. The election term is defined from state user. Resource envelope, we could understand how the budgetary allocation is and how you can utilize the funds. On the validation error while forwarding the plan is only applicable to Central Finance Commission grant. We can plan for other funds for like 14 Finance Commission and Manrega, but it is optional. If you want to plan, you can plan for it. Then later on, we covered the planning aspect of it. We created activities. We created the action plan. After creating the action plan, we approved it. After approving, we went to the progress reporting. We did the technical approval of an activity, then went to the admin approval. Thereafter, we released funds in the funds earmark section, and ultimately we changed the progress reporting of the particular activity. So that was the entire flow of the eGram Swaraj. After progress reporting, we have to do the accounting aspect, which Gaurav explained to you. So we also have this mActionSoft here, wherein you can register the new user. You can have to add the username, IMEI number of the mobile, then plan unit, Gram Panchayat password and confirm password, and by this you can register the mActionSoft user of particular IP, and the mActionSoft mobile app can be used for the geotagging purpose. So this is all we had from eGram Swaraj perspective. I'll ask Sudhanshu to unmute you all, and we can have the query session here. Just hold on for 1 minute.